Good morning, children. Sairam. So now, today we are going to start up with a new chapter of political science, chapter 5, Judiciary. Children, before starting with the chapter, I would like to put up a simple question from you. Do you know what is judiciary, or what does the term judicial means? Why do we actually require judicial services? What is judiciary? If we come straightforward to the word judiciary or the role of judiciary, when we talk about the judicial services, the judicial concept, the concept of justice, the way to grant justice, the way to grant justice to people requires the help of judiciary. And the role of law is actually enforced through a judicial system, which consists of the mechanism of courts. Whenever a law is violated, one can approach these courts. When we are talking about courts, when we talk about crime, when we talk about justice, at that time, judiciary is an insignificant tool which relieves and tries to comfort the citizen of a country. In our country, if a rule or a regulation or a law has been violated, so the innocent expect justice just through the means of judiciary. Moving further, now let's discuss what is the role of judiciary. Children, judiciary is an organ of the state. It plays a major role in a democratic country, and it tries to help the common people or the citizens of a country as well as a state so that none is deprived of their basic rights as well as any kind of injustice suffered. The judiciary, if we are talking about the judiciary, the functions of the judiciary, it does not applies the law of the country. It tries to, if there is any fight, if there is any dispute, if there is any crime, if there is any violation of rights or laws, so judiciary is that means, or you can say a mechanism, a system that actually settles the disputes, sorts out the problem, and punishes the guilty person, the convict. It has the power to modify or cancel laws if it finds that they violate the basic structure of the constitution, which is known as the judicial review. When we are talking about judicial review, that is, if suppose any kind of law, any kind of rule or regulation which has been mentioned in the constitution of India, has been violated by any citizen, by any person, so the judiciary, these people of judiciary can punish the guilty person accordingly. Now, how the judiciary has the power to modify or cancel laws? Okay, and how it can do? It can modify laws for the convenience, and it has the power to cancel if the people, if the citizens do not respect it properly. Fundamental rights. I repeat, children, in case our fundamental rights, if we talk about the fundamental rights which consist about the basic rights of a citizen, I hope you all know what are the fundamental rights of the constitution. The six rights, okay, they are violated, then also we can approach the Supreme Court or High Court. In this sense, the court plays a very significant role in the protecting of our fundamental rights. I repeat, these courts, whether it is a Supreme Court or a High Court, these courts play a very significant role in the protection of our fundamental rights. Now, what is judiciary? What is an independent judiciary? When we have an independent judiciary, it means that the courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. The courts play a central role in ensuring, or to, you can say, confide the citizens that there is no misuse of power by the legislature or executive. Now, these you have read in the first chapter when we have discussed about the separation of powers. We have three portions: judiciary, legislature, and executive. These three separation of powers deal with the different manner, I repeat, deal in different manners with different perspectives, keeping forward to the perspective that nobody should be punished if he or she is innocent. Only the guilty should be punished and given punishment accordingly. Then the next step, the basic step, is how the courts are actually divided in our country. First we have the lower court, then we have the high court, and at the top or apex we have the Supreme Court. If we talk about the structure of the courts, so how are the responsible and how do they function? There are three different levels. Okay, children, there are three different levels. If we talk about three different levels. Now, what are these three different levels? When we are talking about these, first we have district court. Okay, first we have district court, or you can, so children, at first level, at district level, we have the subordinate court. And on state level, we have the high court. After that, on third, after the, or you can say the final stage, is at the national level, that is the apex level. At the top we have the Supreme Court. At the top we have the Supreme Court. This is the bifurcation of the courts, the way we have. Now, how these courts actually function. As you all know, the Supreme Court of India is the highest judicial authority in our country. It is located in New Delhi and is presided over by the Chief Justice of India. I repeat, it is presided over by whom? By the Chief Justice of India. I repeat, by the Chief Justice of India. The decisions made by the Supreme Court is binding on all other courts in India. That is, the Supreme Court or the decision made by the Supreme Court is the final decision, and the decision of this particular court can't be challenged. Now, we have an integrated judicial system, as you all know. When we talk about an integrated, we have an integrated judicial system. Now, in this integrated judicial system, what happens? It means, what it actually means, it means that the decisions made made by the higher courts are binding on the lower courts. Decisions made by high courts are binding to the lower courts. That is, once a decision has been finalized by a higher level of court, it can be challenged, but it cannot be further taken into consideration if it is from the Supreme Court. Different levels of courts are connected to each other through the appellate system, which means, now what is the meaning of the term appellate system? Or when we talk about the appellate system, the word itself reveals appeal. What does it reveal? It means reveal, appeal. That is, a person can appeal to a higher court if he or she is not satisfied with the judgment passed by the lower court. Now, taking a break, putting a halt on the discussion, let's switch to the NCERT textbook. From the NCERT textbook, that just having a brief explanation of what is an independent judiciary and then moving to the structure of courts. See, children, imagine a situation in which a powerful politician has encroached on a land belonging to your family. Within this judicial system, the politician has the power to appoint and dismiss a judge from his office. When you take this case to court, the judge is clearly partial to the politician. The control that the politician holds over the judge does not allow for the judge to take independent decision. This lack of independence would force the judge to make all judgments in the favor of politician. Although we often hear of rich and powerful people in India trying to influence the judicial process, the Indian Constitution protects against this kind of situation by providing the independence of judiciary. As I have just told you, that one aspect of this independence is separation of powers. This you have already read in chapter number 1 as a key feature of the Constitution. That means that other branches of government, that is the legislature as well as the executive, cannot interfere in the work of judiciary. The courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. Bubu mat chilao beta. Work well, it's crucial that all judges, I repeat, that all judges in the High Court as well as the Supreme Court are appointed with a very little interference from the other branches of government. Once appointed to this office, it is also very difficult to remove a judge. It is the independence of the judiciary that allows the courts to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power by legislature and executive. It also plays a crucial role in protecting fundamental rights of citizens, because anyone can approach the courts if they believe that their rights have been violated. These lines are an important set of lines, children, that if any citizen of a country, when we talk about any citizen of a democratic country can actually approach the courts in order to get justice without any partiality. Now, there is an example. You can see we have this small example. List 2 reasons why you believe an independent judiciary is essential to democracy. See, and when we talk about independent judiciary, we need the judicial system to be very impartial. The cases which have to be dealt need to be dealt in a very different manner. When we talk about the court cases, they are actually divided into two broad categories. Before discussing the category of the cases, let's put more light on structure of courts. As I have told, we have taken the consideration of three types of courts: subordinate, that is the at state level, subordinate court, then the lower court, then we have the high court for the state. First we have the low court, that is for the tehsil or the subordinate court, you can say. Then we have high court, and then for the state, and then we have the supreme court. This is clear to you, I hope. Now, there was a question why we need an independent judiciary in a democratic country where you can say any caste, class people can approach the judiciary in any way. I mean, irrespective of any taking consideration of any particular fact that any rich or a poor person can approach the justice system. So it becomes the in moral responsibility of the courts as well as the judicial system to provide justice without partiality. So when we are talking about court and cases, we have two types of cases. The court cases are broadly divided into two categories: civil cases and criminal cases. When we talk about civil cases, first we have the civil cases and then we have the criminal cases. I repeat, then we have the criminal cases. So children, we will continue with both the cases in the next class, that how are the two civil cases and the criminal cases both concerned with, and the rest topics. So till then, take care and keep studying properly. Thank you and Sai Ram.